Did you know there's a vitamin so powerful, yet so affordable, it could completely change how you walk after age 70? It sounds like a stretch, I know, but it's not. Let me tell you a true story. I recently met Ernesto, a 75-year-old man who used to shuffle along, hunched over, his steps small and dragging. Every time he went for a walk, he'd come back exhausted, his knees aching, feeling like his legs were failing him. Then his doctor told him about a simple, inexpensive vitamin that could make a world of difference. 3 weeks later, Ernesto told me with a grin that he'd noticed real changes. He wasn't running marathons, but he could climb stairs without constant breaks. He walked with more confidence, and best of all, he felt independent again. And he's not alone. Studies on older adults show this vitamin has a direct link to balance, muscle strength, and bone health. People who get enough of it fall less often, have more energy, and walk with greater stability. The most interesting part? We're not talking about some expensive, miracle supplement you see online. This is something so simple and accessible you probably already have it in your pantry, or you can get it for less than the cost of a pastry. In the next few minutes, I'll explain exactly how this vitamin works. How it can help you walk with more firmness, feel more energetic, and reduce discomfort in your legs. It's not magic, it's science. If you're over 70, this could be one of the most important tips you hear today. So stick with me as we talk about strength, balance, stronger bones, and how to improve your mobility without emptying your wallet. Boosts your muscle strength and endurance. One of the most powerful effects of this vitamin, especially for older adults, is its impact on physical strength. The kind of strength many people believe is simply lost with age. But that's not entirely true. While aging plays a role, weakened muscles are often a sign of inadequate nutrition, specifically, a lack of the right nutrients to keep our muscles active, firm, and responsive. This is where this vitamin becomes crucial. It plays a direct role in creating proteins within the body. Our muscles are living structures that wear down with use and need constant repair. Every time you walk, climb stairs, or get up from a chair, you're using muscle fibers. These fibers break down and rebuild. To keep them strong, your body needs to produce new proteins, and for that, it needs this vitamin. But there's more. It also influences how muscles contract. Do you ever feel your legs tremble or not respond firmly when you exert yourself? This could be a sign of low vitamin levels, because without it, your muscles don't properly receive the signals telling them when and how to contract. That's when you might notice unexplained weakness or trembling. Take Carmen, for example. At 72, she felt that just moving around her house was a challenge. A couple of stairs left her breathless, her legs ached, and she relied on others more and more. Her doctor suggested she check her vitamin levels and start a daily supplement. A month later, she happily told me she could walk the entire hallway without stopping and even went to the market with her granddaughter again. The best part was when she said, "I feel like my body listens to me again." Because strength in your legs isn't just about moving, it's about confidence and independence. It's the ability to get up without help, walk without fear, and keep doing your own thing. So, if you've been feeling a lack of strength, getting tired faster, or if your legs just don't respond like they used to, don't just chalk it up to age. Maybe all you're missing is the simple boost your body needs. Soothes joint pain and reduces inflammation. One of the most common aches that comes with age is that pain in your knees, hips, or ankles. That morning stiffness, the difficulty with your first steps of the day. Does that sound familiar? Maybe you've also noticed that uncomfortable crunching sound every time you climb stairs or bend down. While it's easy to resign yourself and think, it's just my age, it doesn't always have to be that way. The vitamin we're discussing has a powerful anti-inflammatory effect. It works directly on the immune system, regulating the production of substances called cytokines. When these cytokines are out of balance, they cause constant inflammation in the joints. That inflammation irritates tissues, stiffens areas that should be flexible, and leads to that familiar pain when you move. But that's not all. This vitamin also plays a vital role in how your body handles calcium. And no, calcium isn't just for your bones. It's also key to how muscles contract and how nerves send signals. If calcium isn't properly distributed, it can build up where it shouldn't, like in your joints, forming tiny deposits that increase stiffness and pain. This vitamin helps ensure calcium goes exactly where it's needed, to your bones, not your soft tissues. Let me share the story of Juan, an 80-year-old who felt as if his knees were blocks of cement every morning. He struggled to get to his feet, and his grandson often had to help him up. It would take several minutes before he could even start walking. That is, until his doctor recommended a daily dose of this vitamin along with some gentle stretching. A month later, he told me something that surprised him. He could get up without so much trouble. "It's not like before. Now it only takes a few seconds," he said with a smile. The key is not to eliminate all pain overnight, but to regain mobility little by little, making it easier to move, get up, and walk each day. If you want to make the most of this benefit, it's a good idea to combine the vitamin with some movement. You don't need to do anything strenuous. Just walking around the house for a few minutes, gently stretching when you wake up, or moving your legs in circles while sitting can help. This small amount of movement, no matter how light, boosts circulation, lubricates your joints, and keeps your body in motion. And when you add a vitamin that reduces inflammation from the inside out, you can start seeing real changes in just a few weeks. Improves your balance and coordination. Have you ever felt unsteady when you get up or a bit wobbly when you walk, even when you're not tired? You're not alone. This is very common as we age. But it's important to understand that it's not always about clumsiness or a simple lack of strength. Often, the problem goes deeper. It's in the connection between your brain, nerves, and muscles. This is where our vitamin comes in again. It doesn't just work on bones or joints. It's also essential for neuromuscular health. That's the ability of your muscles to correctly receive the commands sent by your nervous system. This vitamin improves the communication between your brain and your body. It helps the electrical signals traveling from your head to your legs and feet get where they need to go without interruption. When you have a deficiency, that communication becomes slow and confused. Your muscles don't react as they should, your legs feel clumsy, and your brain doesn't get the information it needs to help you maintain your balance. This is called an alteration of proprioception. It's as if your body doesn't have a clear sense of where it is in space. It's one of the most common reasons why many older people suffer falls. Alfredo is a perfect example. He began to notice that when he stood up from a chair, his body would slightly drift to one side. It wasn't vertigo or total weakness, it was as if his legs weren't fully cooperating. His granddaughter bought him a supplement with this vitamin, and together they started a simple daily exercise, lifting one leg for 5 seconds while holding onto the back of a sturdy chair. First one leg, then the other. A month later, Alfredo no longer wobbled when he stood up. He told me proudly, "My legs are listening to me again." This happens because the vitamin strengthens the nerves responsible for balance and reflexes. When your nervous system starts working better, your body responds faster, with more stability and security. Would you like to stimulate this effect at home? Here's an easy tip. Every morning when you get up, stand next to a wall or a sturdy chair. Try to lift one leg and stay steady on the other, even for just 3 or 4 seconds. Then switch. This small exercise activates the muscles that keep you balanced and reinforces the connection between your feet and your brain. Don't underestimate this. A firm step can be the difference between a normal day and a fall that changes everything. And if one simple vitamin can strengthen that vital connection, why not give it a try? Boosts energy and fights fatigue. Have you felt tired even when you've had a good night's sleep? You're not alone. Many people over 70 don't complain as much about pain as they do about constant tiredness. That feeling of waking up without strength, of walking a short distance and feeling like your legs weigh a ton. It's not always due to a lack of sleep or illness. Sometimes, it's simply because the body no longer produces energy the way it used to. This is where the vitamin comes in again. It doesn't just help bones and balance, it's also essential for your cells to generate energy. Inside every cell are structures called mitochondria, which act like tiny power plants. For them to work correctly, they need this vitamin. Without it, the system slows down, like a drained battery. That's why, when your levels are low, one of the first symptoms is fatigue, even if you've slept well and eaten healthily. But by taking this vitamin regularly, many older people notice a real change. Take Marta, 78. Every morning, her legs felt like blocks of cement. She would have to sit, breathe, and wait before she could walk. Her granddaughter gave her this vitamin to take with breakfast. In a few weeks, Marta's legs felt lighter. "It's like my body turns on faster," she'd say with a smile. This isn't an isolated case. Many people regain their energy not by luck, but because their cells start working better again. A helpful tip: if you're going to take this vitamin, do it in the morning with breakfast. That way, you get a boost of energy right when you need it most for walking or staying focused. So, if you feel like you're lacking energy, maybe you don't need more sleep, you need the right fuel. And this vitamin could be exactly that. Strengthens bones and prevents osteoporosis. One of the biggest fears of getting older isn't just a fall, but what might come after: a hip fracture, a broken bone, a complicated surgery, or the loss of independence. While it sounds worrying, there's a simple and accessible way to reduce this risk. It all starts with caring for your bones from the inside out. When we think of bones, the first thing that comes to mind is calcium. And yes, calcium is key. It's what gives them hardness and structure. But here's something few people know: calcium alone isn't enough. It needs a partner to tell it where to go. This vitamin we've been talking about plays exactly that role. It's like the cement that holds the bricks together, carrying calcium directly to your bones and keeping it there, so it doesn't get lost or build up in places where it could cause harm. With age, we all lose some bone mass. That's normal. The problem begins when that loss is so significant that bones become porous, fragile, and prone to breaking. This is called osteoporosis. The danger is that it often has no symptoms until a fall happens and everything changes in an instant. The good news is that this vitamin can make a huge difference. Recent studies have shown that consistent intake can significantly reduce the risk of fractures in people over 70. In one study of adults over 70, those who took this vitamin for several months had 20% fewer hip fractures compared to those who didn't. 20% might not sound like a lot, but when you're talking about preventing a life-changing fracture, that's a massive number. As I always say, there are no miracles. No vitamin works alone. To keep bones strong, you have to combine supplementation with some physical activity. And don't worry, this doesn't mean running or lifting weights. Brisk walking, climbing stairs, or doing gentle bodyweight exercises all stimulate bone regeneration. Think of it this way: every time you take a firm step, you're telling your bones, "I still need you." And if you also give them the right vitamin, they'll respond by becoming denser, stronger, and more resilient. So, if you felt that your bones aren't as strong as they used to be, if a small fall left you in pain for days, or if you simply want to prevent what hasn't happened yet, this vitamin can be your best ally. It works from the inside out, quietly but with real, tangible effects. How to get this vitamin? Now that you know what this vitamin can do for you, improve how you walk, reduce pain, give you more energy, and strengthen your bones, it's time to talk about the most important part: how to get it. The good news is you don't need to spend a lot or search for rare products. This vitamin is obtained in two ways: naturally, through food and sunlight, and with supplements when you need an extra boost. Both options are valid and are often combined. What foods contain it? The richest sources are eggs, especially the yolk, liver, fatty fish like sardines, salmon, or mackerel, fortified dairy products, and some types of mushrooms. If you eat fish a couple of times a week, add an egg to your breakfast, and occasionally have liver, you're building a good foundation. And the sun. Your body can also produce this vitamin naturally if you get 15 to 20 minutes of sun exposure on your arms and legs each day. But you need to consider the time of day, season, and where you live. In winter, in areas with little sun, or if you rarely go outside, your production can be very low. This is why many older adults opt for supplements. And here's more good news: they are very affordable. A bottle can cost less than a week's worth of coffee and last for a whole month. The recommended dose is usually between 800 and 2000 IU per day, or 20 to 50 micrograms. It's always best to start with a moderate dose and consult a doctor if you need to adjust it. Some people with very low levels may need more at the beginning. When you buy a supplement, look for one that is easily absorbed, like a soft gel or liquid capsule, and has a quality certification. You don't need to pay for fancy brands. The most important thing is that it's effective and you take it consistently. Remember, this vitamin doesn't work instantly. It's a daily support, simple yet very powerful. A small habit that can improve how you walk, how you move, and how you feel every day. And the best part is that it's within reach for almost everyone. A little sunshine, good food, or an accessible supplement. It's that simple, that transformative. But before you rush out to buy it, there's something else you need to know. Precautions and interactions. Precautions and interactions. We've covered all the good things this vitamin can do for you. More strength, less pain, better balance, stronger bones, and renewed energy. But like everything in life, it must be used with care. While it's an essential nutrient and generally very safe, it can cause side effects if taken without control. That's why the first step before starting any supplement is simple but crucial. Get a blood test. That way, you'll know if you really have a deficiency and how much you need. Everyone is different. Some people get enough from their diet or the sun, others don't. Are you taking other medications? This is also important. Many older adults take daily medications that can interact with this vitamin. For example, thiazide diuretics used for high blood pressure can raise calcium levels in your blood when combined with this vitamin, causing nausea, weakness, or even kidney problems. Corticosteroids for inflammation or autoimmune diseases can interfere with its absorption, making your body need more, but this should always be under medical supervision. Can you take too much? It's very difficult to get an overdose from just food or the sun, but with supplements, it is possible if you take very high doses for a long time. Warning signs can include nausea, loss of appetite, abdominal pain, constant thirst, or frequent urination. In severe cases, it can cause kidney damage or heart problems. That's why you should never start taking it on your own, especially if you take other medications or have heart, liver, or kidney problems. Consult your doctor, who can tell you the ideal dose, if you need a blood test, and how to monitor your progress safely. More is not better. Just because it's a vitamin doesn't mean you can take it like water. Too much can also be harmful. The key is balance, and if you decide to take it, do it the right way. Combine it with a good diet, some exercise, and enough rest. Because it's not just about a pill, it's about consciously and lovingly caring for your body every day. We've reached the end of the video, and it's worth a quick recap. Today, we talked about a simple, affordable vitamin with an enormous impact on your life after 70. We saw how it strengthens muscles, helping you stay balanced and prevent falls. Then we covered its effect on soothing joint pain and reducing inflammation, especially in your knees and hips. We also discovered that it fights fatigue, giving you the energy to move without getting tired so quickly. We then looked at its role in bone health, where it helps prevent fractures by improving calcium absorption. And finally, we learned how to get it easily through food, a little sun, or accessible supplements. It's not a magic pill, but it can be a great ally if you combine it with a good diet, some movement, and good rest. My advice is simple. If you're over 70 and feel that walking isn't as easy as it used to be, that your legs feel heavy, or that your joints ache, talk to your doctor and try this vitamin for a month. Pay attention to how you feel. Do you get up more easily? Do you walk with more confidence? Do you feel steadier? Sometimes, a small change can make a huge difference. Now, tell me, had you heard about this vitamin before? Have you tried it? How did it go? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know your age, what country you're watching from, and how you feel about this topic. And if you think this video could help a friend, a family member, or someone who is feeling the effects of age in their legs, please share it. You might be giving them something much more valuable, the freedom to keep walking. Thanks for joining me. It's been a pleasure to share this content with you.